Hey, you're listening to 6 minutes and 66 seconds with me, your host, Mike Arnzen. Welcome, folks, to the end of April 2025. This episode is late coming, but I want to get it out to you before April ends because we're wrapping up National Poetry Month, sometimes called National Poetry Writing Month, or NaPoWriMo, for those who practice it. And I've been practicing it this month, among other things, working on my manuscript for the next poetry collection I hope to publish called Bluebird Guts. And I don't want to talk about it too much because I haven't contracted with a publisher yet or anything like that. But I consider it the sequel to the Gorlitz Omnibus, and it has a similar theme in that it will collect and gather together all the short poetry that I have been publishing online in the margins of things and in places where people might not have seen it or spotted it. So it should be a fun book. It's going to have, I don't know, something like 500 pieces in it, if all goes according to plan. And anyway, throughout the month of April, I have been posting an excerpt from this collection, a poem a day, in fancy fonts and colors and so forth, or a meme, as some people would say. I've been posting them mostly on Instagram, and you can follow them at Mike Arnzen. But I thought that for today's episode, I would go ahead and share some of this with you guys. So what I chose to do is sort through my manuscript and pull out a couple of the longer pieces that I could not publish on Instagram cleanly, without using a very tiny font or something like that. And even then, they're still pretty short poems. So I'm going to just read those for you right now. So enjoy. These are excerpts from Bluebird Guts. First piece is called Between Wick and Wicked. There's but a flame tip's difference between pain and indifference, the flame and the lame, the aim and the Between wick and wicked, I purr and flicker, drinking your liquor, licking your ticker, beating your beater, hardening your heart. There's but a paper-thin difference between pain and indifference, the raise and the razor, the wax and the axe. Between wick and wicked, I purr and flicker, I am the ripper, and you are the paper. I am the reader, and you are my feeder, lardening your heart. I don't know about that one, but let me read another one. That was a horrible transition. This one is called Spiraling. Is it hunger that propels the spider to take that first leap, giving way to gravity like a criminal in the noose? Free-falling, sylph-like in the breeze, spinnerets pumping, shiny silk trailing, twirling body dangling by a singularly hopeful, gluey strand? Or is it a kind of suicidal game, bungee jumping on such frail thread, trusting he'll land firmly footed on all eights? I, too, risked death and survived. Many times. Now it's your turn. This piece is called Beating Her Blanket. I napped on the picnic blanket and awoke to the tickle of tiny black ants, some wet-headed with wings that can't fly, and some surly red ones, too, jittering among the throng like kernels in a peppercorn grinder. It was an orgy of tiny insects seeking the sugar from my half-empty soda can and nuggets of fallen crumb cake and the smears of grape jelly I'd accidentally gotten on the plaid fabric. But after I'd leapt away, all I could do was stare in horror at the writhing picnic blanket, alive with so many horrible insects, and think, this must be what her coffin pillow looks like, before I beat the blanket against her gravestone, spreading their bodies, dead and alive, in the cemetery air amid plumes of her old dust. This is a piece that is not going to appear in Bluebird Guts. At least it might in some fashion, but not like this. I realized I don't have a poem called Bluebird Guts. to add to this book because the title is based loosely on the death of Twitter and how I've stopped posting there. And these are just old pieces, a lot of them, that were initially published on Twitter. So that's the origin of the title, Bluebird Guts. But here's the poem I drafted called Bluebird Guts. And I think you'll figure out why it's not quite ready for proverbial prime time. Bluebird guts aren't blue. Well, not right away. But give the little cuties time. Blackbird guts aren't black, at least not until the flames get good. Cardinal guts aren't red, but yellow is Miracle Whip gone bad. Ew. Condor guts aren't the same as vulture guts. Just ask the vulture who eats them. Duck guts are a messy float around a head bobbing down from neck tissue, as if it might still evade the shotgun spray. Eagle guts are obviously red, white, and blue, but not the organs you'd assume. And albatross guts, they can hang around your neck, too. Well, that's what you would call... Wait, that's what I would call a rough draft and what you might call a terrible draft. But I'm still working on it, and who knows, something from this piece, this catalog of bird guts, might end up in the final draft of the book. Well, there you go. A couple excerpts from Bluebird Guts to celebrate National Poetry Month coming to a close. Again, you can read the shorter pieces, the more proper gorlets, if you will, from Bluebird Guts online at my Instagram at Mike Arnzen.